What's up, guys? Alex here from Outdoors 55 and what used to be Knife Point Gear. I wanted to answer a couple of questions real quick. The first one is, what happened to Knife Point Gear? Well, right now, Knife Point Gear is outdoors55.com. Basically, everything that we are doing on Knife Point Gear is now going to be on outdoors55.com. Now, one of the questions I want to answer is, why did we shut down Knife Point Gear? The quick answer to that is because if you have the word knife in your website name, you are going to be flagged on a weekly basis for selling what they were calling weapons. Now, we were not selling weapons, we were selling knives and knife sharpening supplies. Now, we were flagged through the payment processor as well as the website hosting service. We were getting flagged all the way around. It was literally a war between all of these people and appeals and all of this stuff, and it turned into an absolute nightmare. We went through half a dozen payment processors till finally I was like, well, we just have to shut this down and rebrand under another name because this isn't working. So I think it's been 4 or 5 years since we actually shut that down, and then we just relaunched the new website, which is outdoors55.com. This time I had a website custom built, so we don't have the hosting problems. And we also have a payment. Hopefully we have a payment processor that has underwritten the stuff that we sell and currently sell, so that we won't have these problems anymore. Knock on wood. Now, realize that when we were going through this was during COVID, and that may have played a role in all this as well. So the strops are back. They're the same strops that I was selling before. I wanted to have a source for people to sell, for people to buy a decent strop, and that's why I'm selling them. Finding decent strops is actually way more difficult than I would have imagined. The reason that I'm selling them again now is because I bought everybody's strop like 5 years ago, and I couldn't find a single one that I really recommended. They were all pretty much junk. And this includes some from places that I thought would have been a little bit better. But anyway, I just made my own. I go and hand select all the leather myself so that you're getting a decent piece of leather. That's one of the problems with buying leather online, is that you just don't know what you're getting until it arrives. And some of the sources that I've recommended before that were selling decent leather just decided to switch it overnight and send out junk leather in its place. So we got to get away from that. I think a lot of people were losing money buying from various sources online. So at least if you buy one of these, you know that you're going to get a decent piece of leather. Now, the shops are back for sale. I only have so many of them. And I make all of these myself. At this point in time, I have a bunch of them. They're going fast, and I'm currently injured, and I don't know exactly when I'm going to get better. This has been a whole long, drawn-out ordeal, and it looks like it may be quite a while. So once they're gone, they might be out of stock for a while, so I wouldn't wait too long if you're thinking about getting one. But anyway, my whole goal is to bring these back in stock at some point and have these in stock all the time, so that there's just a consistent, good source for strops for people who want them. The compounds, I will be bringing back compound as well. I have a bunch of it ordered. I literally have like thousands of dollars worth of it sitting over there that I'm staring at. There was a problem with it. The manufacturer changed something on me, and there's just something a little bit off about it that I don't want to sell it right now. So we would have to deal with that in the background. I do want to get other people's stuff on the website as well. And basically, I'm only going to be carrying stuff that I've tested and used and know is good, and the quality is good, and the company's good who actually sells it. So the goal is that if you are looking for sharpening stuff or knives or anything, you can just come to the site and see what's on there, and not have to worry about whether or not the company's good or the product is good. And hopefully we can get some good descriptions and pictures and stuff like that of the products for the site. So that's the end goal. And hopefully that happens sooner than later. But anyway, strops are there. They're available. One of the other questions that I get asked is about this thing, the world's lightest backpacking saw. This was something that I did several runs of. We sold more of these than I originally thought. The reason that we discontinued these was simply due to price. The time that we were selling these was during the whole COVID fiasco for that year or two. And during that time, initially the price of this was fairly reasonable, but during COVID, because manufacturing was slim and like we had all kinds of problems during COVID with manufacturing stuff, the prices on this stuff shot up like through the roof. And basically what would have happened is in order to keep selling this, we would have had to significantly increase the price on it. And we were already getting a bunch of pushback from people. We had people making like hate videos and Reddit threads about how this thing's overpriced and you could make one of these for $10. You can't. Just this blade costs more than $10, so I don't know how you're going to make the entire thing for less than $10. And some of the videos that were actually made in response to this saw being released were kind of comical. Now, that being said, I will tell you that back then the total cost just in components to make this was around $40. I can't remember the exact price. It was around $40 just to have all of these raw components sitting, not assembled. That doesn't include the labor to assemble them, the cost associated with packing and shipping them, and all of that jazz. So essentially we were losing money, and the only way and then with prices increasing, obviously we would have had to significantly increase the price. Now that kind of puts this into a range, I think, outside of most people's comfort zones if we raise the price that much. I think there's still people who would buy it, but in my opinion, it's just too much for what it is. Now, what I have to think that I could do is we could just sell these and, if you want it, it's there. The price is what it is. I can't really do much about it. Or we could just sell it as a kit, as something that you could assemble yourself. Basically, you get everything. You'd have to epoxy the ends in. You'd have to go buy epoxy. So it's going to end up costing you about the same either way. You're just going to spend your time on it rather than just paying for your time up front. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I do know that there's a lot of people who would like to have these. They're still the world's lightest backpacking saw. There's not a lighter saw out there that is faster, more powerful, easier to use, that actually works. There's not, as far as I'm aware. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to say on that. This is was just a hobby project that turned into something that people wanted to buy. And I think it's still going to be a hobby project. This is not something that we're going to take mainstream or anything crazy like that. This is it's like as light as you can possibly get for a backpacking saw that actually works. So I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to bring it back or not, but man, with prices the way that they are, all this stuff is custom made. The carbon fiber is made in a place in New York, I think. These pieces are machined in a machine shop right up the street from my house. And everything's assembled by hand and all that good stuff. So they're not cheap to make, unfortunately. That's just the way it is with some stuff. At the volumes that if we ordered 10,000 components for these, we could then bring the price down significantly, but we're just not at that volume. We don't have, 10,000 of $40. It's like 400 grand. I don't think that's happening. There's just not that, the market's not that big. So anyway, that's kind of the story with the backpacking saw. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't, but there's going to be some sticker shock, I think, when it does. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I wish it wasn't, but prices are a lot now. So is labor and the cost to run a business. So that's kind of where we are with Knife Point Gear. It's outdoors55.com. Go check it out and pick up a strap or two. It really helps out. I appreciate it. Hopefully we're back to normal here sooner than later. I don't know what I'm going to do with this channel quite yet. I may end up posting kind of dumb stuff to it since this channel's kind of defunct now. Maybe we'll do some weird behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.